Hello everybody and welcome to Success Course 7 once again. So as you all know that tomorrow on 25th of April, the May-June 2023 session for the CAIE O-Level examination starts. And so tomorrow is the English paper 1, and in this video we'll be looking quickly at some of the quick strategies and some time management formulas that we can use to maximize our effectiveness in the paper and get the highest possible marks. So without any delay, let's get straight into it. So first of all, I'd like to show you that why is planning important in the paper 1 and why it produces a key role to get you the best marks. So as you can see in this examiner report, you can read that candidates are advised to plan each bullet point in section 1 to ensure that they have enough to say which is relevant in each of the bullets. Now here the examiner has clearly stated that planning is really important and they are advised to plan, and not only in section 1, even though here it is mentioned about section 1, but if you plan your section 2 as well, it will help you to write the best possible response. It will help you to write an organized and productive response that can that is clear and it's understood by the examiner. So that's exactly our target, and in order to achieve the highest marks you really have to plan. So here was the significance of planning. Moving on, let's learn how to plan our answer. So for section 1 directed writing, uh, first we have to write the introduction. No matter what type of directed writing you have, whether it is a report, it's a speech, it's an article, or a letter, so you'll have to write an introduction. An introduction always has three parts. The first part are the opening words, and they are usually stated in the question itself. So for example, as you can see here, there's a question from the past paper where the entire question is given. Here we have to write a speech, and here in the question we are given the opening words. So it's saying that start your speech, good morning everyone. So we have to start our speech from these words. No matter how many different students write this, no matter how many variants of the speech you have, you always have to start with this one, and it gains you some marks. So you'll have to make sure that you start your introduction with the opening words which are stated in the question. Next we have the general opening remarks, which is usually a quick rephrase of the entire question. And finally, the introduction consists of the content statement, in which we have to rephrase and convert the given bullet points into a sentence. So let's look at that now. Here's a typical introduction to the question we just looked at. So as you can see, the question says, on your way home from school recently, you and your friend saw a poster about an event. This led to an exciting experience for both of you and your friend. Sometime later, your teacher asked you to make a speech to your class about the experience. Write your speech. You must include the following: the name of your friend and what the event was, a detailed account of the experience, the effect this experience had on both of you and your friend, and cover all the 3 points in detail. You should make sure that your speech is interesting and informative. Start your speech, good morning everyone. So as we just discussed, first we have to use the opening words. So here, good morning everyone is being used in the introduction to this question. Next, we had to write the general opening remarks, which are a simple rephrase of the question. So if you read this text highlighted in green in this introduction, I was requested by Miss Ellison to speak a few words regarding the participation of me and my friend Harry in the National Charity Drive a week ago, which was indeed an unforgettable experience. We became interested in the national event held in our city after looking at one of the posters on our way to home from school and decided to participate. So it's basically the entire rephrasal of this question here. If you read this question and if you read this paragraph, it's exactly the same, just that the sentences are restructured and we have added a few little bits of information like the name of the teacher and the name of our friend. Next, the content statement, as we discussed. So first content statement asks you to write the name of your friend and what the event was. So here we have written in the blue highlighted text. Next, the bullet point is to write a detailed account of the experience. So you just tell the listeners in this speech that you are going to discuss that in your speech ahead. So today I will be discussing all that we did. It's basically a rephrasal of this second bullet point. And finally, the third bullet point, the effect this experience had on both of you and your friend, and what we learned from the time we spent there. Is basically both of them have the same meaning, and that's exactly what we discussed before, to rephrase and convert the given bullet points into a sentence. So that's basically how you write an introduction in any kind of direct writing task, whether it's an article, a speech, a report, or a letter. Moving on to the bullet points or the body paragraphs. The first part of the body paragraph consists of a topic sentence, which is a quick rephrase of the bullet point itself, which we have also done before as the content statement. Second, we have the key point, and third, we have the explanation and example. So let's look at this again. We will be just working with the bullet point number 1. The bullet point number 2 and 3 is an activity for you. You have to write the entire structure like this for the bullet points 2 and 3. I will be telling you as an example for the bullet number 1. So as we discussed, first we have the topic sentence. We just rephrase the first line, and we have written that I reached the national charity drive, yani what the event was, on the 29th of March, which is the date of the event, and we both eagerly sign up for participating as a volunteer for the entire day. So this is the key point we are going to discuss in this paragraph. And yes, you can read the whole paragraph, organized by a well-known private welfare organization. And then we give an example of what we did, like it's an explanation of the organization and what this event was. So basically what we have done, we have taken this bullet point. We have first rephrased it, then we have mentioned a key point we are going to discuss, and then we have explained that key point. So that's how a body paragraph or a bullet point is structured. And for bullet points 2 and 3, we have to follow the same process, and we first have to rephrase the bullet point, we have to write a key point regarding that, and we have to explain it with an example if possible. So that was the structure of the bullet point. Finally, conclusion. A conclusion is simply a rephrase of the introduction. You just have to rephrase and restructure your sentences, what you wrote in the introduction, and you usually have to give an opinion or advice. Like, for example, in this question, if we have to give an opinion, we can say that the event was a good experience and we would like to participate in such an event once again. So that is an opinion or an advice. So moving forward, for section 2 composition, first we have the descriptive. Now not much people attempt this one, so we just have 5 paragraphs here. You can look to the question and divide your plan according to that. Looking at argumentative, we first have an introduction. So in introduction of the argumentative essay, we give some background information of the given argument. Then we have the body paragraph 1, where we give 3 reasons with explanation to support our argument. Whatever the question is, you just give 3 reasons to support that argument. And body paragraph 2, you give 3 reasons against your argument. So basically, you balance in body paragraph 1 and 2, you balance the entire argument by giving 3 reasons for it and 3 reasons against it. And in body paragraph 3, you just choose whatever side you want. You want to go against the argument or want to go with the argument. You just choose your side and you disprove the counter arguments. Let's say, for example, you want to support the argument. So you first mention the 3 reasons to support your argument, and then you disprove these 3 reasons which are against the argument using the reasons you stated before. So it's basically like a debate, just you have to write it as an essay and you have to compare the reasons you have given. Finally, in the conclusion, you finally state your opinion on what side do you actually support and the solution if the argument involves a problem like climate change, etc. For the narrative essay, we have an introduction where we have the attention grabber or hook. Now, a typical attention grabber, we have given an example here, is Mason tiptoed along the forest, Alice a few steps behind. So this is basically an attention grabber, and it's actually when the reader begins to read this story and when the reader reads this first sentence, it actually draws the reader, it attracts the reader to read the entire story. So basically, a hook is really important when you want to write a narrative essay, and it's easy to make that. You just have to add a bit of suspense, and there you go. Finally, we have the body paragraph 1, conflict. We introduce a problem in the narrative here. Like, for example, if you have to defuse a bomb in an action story, or if it's a general story, you have to pass the exam. So that's the problem which we have to solve. In body paragraph 2, we have the climax, the turning point or unexpected event. It's important to add this one because it's the basic root of the narrative essay and any story, in fact, that you have to add a turning point and event that is unexpected by the reader. So let's say, for example, if you're defusing a bomb, you're caught by guards, so that's unexpected event. And if you want to pass the exam and the question paper is really difficult, so that's one of the problems or the turning points or unexpected events. Finally, in body paragraph 3, you give the resolution or you solve the problem. Let's say if we have the action example, once again we have bomb is diffused, and if, for example, which our target is in the tomorrow's exam, we have passed an exam with an A star. So that's basically a resolution which we mentioned in body paragraph 3. Finally, in conclusion, we can continue our resolution or have a suitable ending, which is important. Let's say for the action story, we were giving an example of mission accomplished. And for the result one, you have the outstanding result, which is celebrated by you, your friends, and your family. So that's basically how you can write and plan your argumentative and narrative essays. Finally, we have the bonus here, the time management in O-Level English PVAC. So section 1 directed writing and section 2 composition. Both are 30 marks, and that's why our total time is 1 hour 30 minutes, which is 90 minutes. And due to both being 30 marks, we'll just divide our time into 2, which gives us 45 minutes. So for each section, you have to spend 45 minutes solving or attempting the answer. So 45 minutes for both. You can use 5 minutes for planning both the sections, not more than that, because it can reduce your time to write it in the first place. So just spend 5 minutes planning the both sections, and then you can have 8 minutes for each paragraph. So there are 5 paragraphs, 8 5 is 40, and 40 plus 5 equals 45 minutes. That's how you spend 45 minutes in your paper for each section, for a total of 1 hour 30 minutes, which you can use to equally divide into each and every paragraph section. And basically this way your paper is organized. Every single paragraph has the same amount of content and information, and that actually examiner actually looks at that, and that's what gets you the best marks. If your entire answer is balanced, all the content points are covered in equal detail, and both the sections are attempted equally well, then that's what gains you marks. And that's our basic target, to achieve an A star and get the maximum marks in P1. So good luck for your examination tomorrow. I'll be remembering you all in my prayers. You remember me in your prayers, and good luck for your examination. See you in the next video for English P2.